They always rode together, doing bad shit on the roads they didn't know no better. Out for the peas, they was trying to grow the cheddar. Ben was on the paper grind, in the right state of mind, even though we blazed the tide day and night. Always watched the bill late at night. On the other hand was James, he was lazy fam, but James was the ladies man, more reckless, he never stayed to plans. Out for the hoes more than dough, but the hoes didn't make him grand. They just made him mad. They had mad dreams, carried out bad schemes, bad teams, pushing white 24/7, serving crack fiends. The cliques were wasting hopeless nights, rich and famous, loads of white bitches hating cause they rolled so tight. They didn't know the situation where they both survived. Once Ben served the fiend, the master bumped him off the bray. Came clutching Glocks, busting shots, six were blazing oh so bright. There was heat on the coldest night. James saved his homie's life, he must have jumped in front. Ended up with a punctured lung. Best friends till the song is done. Their boys weren't shocked at all. James could have lost it all, but he didn't die. He survived that night in the hospital. He got taught a lesson in surgery from 4 to 7. Nearly dying, knocking on the door to heaven. Cut their hands, blood brothers now, so they're more than brethren. They could never snitch on another fam. Ben had a bitch of a mother fam. James could never track his dad, but he knew now Ben had his back. Slanging crack, they rolled tight. Fam, I'll hand them that. Blood brothers, so they always stayed together. Tried to raise the cheddar, even in rainy weather. In the hood, royalty's rare, but they became street kings cause the loyalty's there. From then they would be living large, chilling hard, cruising late, whipping cars, taking honeys home and unclipping bras. But with money comes responsibility. They're doing well for themselves, done nothing wrong, you feeling me? No armed robins, just moving narcotics. But their wildest dream, bruv, they was far from it. Cause one day their friendship died when Ben went inside for some attempted crime. When the fiend tried to run on him, Ben pulled a gun on him. Didn't even pull the trigger. The feds caught him, no caution, straight to the courtroom. Ended up getting 6 years. James sitting in the courtroom, shedding big tears. His other half's gone now, he's gonna be missed here. Now James just sits smoking skunk, thinking about how his blood brothers inside holding up. Thought about the niggas that would be testing him, but they didn't, because they respected him. Looked up to his an OG. Ben picked a few coldies, they rolled deep, didn't mean shit to his homie. Ben sits and thinks how they rode side by side, how they used to just chill up and just get high at night. Thought about back in the day when they used to shop crack for the pay. The years went by, night after night. Ben's bugging out all day, he's locked inside. Yes, hitting him, yeah. Ben's missing him, wondering, blood brother James ain't come to visit him. Ben's wondering, doesn't know James has moved on to other things. Ben's smoking and smoking and smoking. He's hoping his release date is approaching. Ben got released on the 6th of March. Guess who's outside waiting to pick him up? Ben starts squinting his eyes, starts sniffing, he cries. Sees James sitting in the ride and he's bibbing and he's hype. They exchanged the love. They hugged for ages cuz Ben asked James how he'd been. Looked over to James, but James bowed his chin. Ben asked him and said, what's been happening? James said he was depressed and that he'd been gambling. Told Ben how he wasted checks, he even paid for sex. Lost most of his dough placing bets. I bet he placed a bet he may regret. Sold down at one point that he nearly faced the debt. Ben started asking him why. James said it was Ben's fault when he departed his side. Blood, a part of him died. Left a mental scar in his mind. Ben apologized, looked in James' astonished eyes. Started talking about how they could get back on the rise. Start again and colonize. Speaking and planning from 3 to 10 on the hype now, cause they're gonna make peas again. Ben said, James, have you got a bit of peas stacked? James said when they got hot, he put a couple G's back. Next day, Ben came home with a plan. Said he knows of this man who shots O's on the grams. But did James notice how Ben could set up this big deal so quick? Set up a meeting, next day went to meet him. Ben's driving, he's biting his fucking nails, bugging out. You can see he's thinking about something else. James said, Ben, this brer, have you met him? Ben said, nah, got his number through a connection. James said, bring protection? Nah fam, it's a blessing. You can tell Ben don't feel good inside, shaking and he's nervous. Blood is like he shouldn't drive. Then they pulled up outside. They could see him, got out the car and went to meet him. Shook his hands, the brer said his name was Steve. And they started speaking, started drinking, started smoking, sat down and started dealing. Steve put the food on the table. James is weary cause this dude looks unstable. Steve looked like he'd been through the gutter. 2-2s, him and Ben was looking like they knew each other. Ben could see a much wider range, but he was confused cause he didn't know the prices changed, times have changed. Steven looks kinda chilled, he's been in the game for a while still. A waiting price was finally agreed, so they put the money down ready to buy a couple keys. Shook hands with Steve with the keys about to leave. Then James turns around, sees Ben and Steve are still sitting down. Come on Ben, we gotta start cooking all this white. But Ben weren't looking in his eyes. Whoa. James starts panicking. Come on Ben, get a move on, you're sitting like a mannequin. But Ben is not hearing this guy. Then Ben turns to James and he's got tears in his eyes. Whoa, James starts sweating bare. Come on Ben, say something blood, cause I'm getting scared. All of a sudden Steve says, Ben, don't long it out. James was like, Steve, what the fuck are you on about? Then Ben said, when I got arrested, the police told me of ways to reduce my sentence. Started unzipping his top. James was left shocked. He couldn't believe his eyes. What he saw hurt more than the deepest lie, more than the shank getting pushed deep inside. I bet he would have even died. Ben couldn't begin to say sorry. He had a wire strapped to his body. James couldn't take it. Ben had snaked him. Broke down crying, his brother had betrayed him. James looked at the wire strapped to his front. He said, Ben, how could you do this to me, you cunt? Ben said he needed to be free, he was desperate. Whoa, you can tell he's regretting it. James rips open his top, shows him the scar of the bullet where he saved his life and said, you can't remember this? I would have died for you, gone all the way and gave my life for you. I swear I would have done time for you. Cause I love my brother, never thought I would see the day you would be undercover. Now James is switching, he's freaking out about how his brother had just snitched him. Cause they survived it all, from the worst fights in school, dodging knife and tools. Real brothers undeniable. James hears police coming up the floor, so he makes a move. He starts running for the door. Ben grabs him and starts holding on tight. James says, get the fuck off me, I'm not going inside. James pushed Ben to the ground, dusting for the door, then he just hears the sound of the gun cock. There was only one shot, then he just see his bruv drop. James ain't getting up from this one. Ben's throwing up cause the bullet came from his gun. The police supplied Ben with a strap, said if James got away, then Ben was going back. Ben dropped the gun, he thought what's he done? Ben couldn't believe he's just shot his bruv. The feds bust in the scene, James dies instantly. It's deep cause he never got to live his dream. From this there's no repentance. Ben killed his brother to get a couple years off the sentence. He worked with the police to get an early release. Now James's spirits just lurk in the streets. Ben couldn't take the regret he faced. James's spirit haunts him every step he takes. Ben weren't neutralized, but it still hurt cause he knew the truth inside. It hurt so much, it was fucking with his mental. Gun to the temple, Ben committed suicide. But Ben won't ever see his brother's face, cause suicide takes you to another place. Hell is not a myth or a fable, it's a place where demons can't mix with the angels. Cause they was best friends, went down the same road trying to make dough. It led to a dead end, led to some dead friends, thus a dead end.